In this video, I am going to be covering exactly how I answer all of my leads. And then what I mean by that is when a customer calls my website and they're looking for an estimate, how I answer that lead. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, well, why would you be answering leads? Wouldn't the business owner be answering the leads? And yes, that is the case, unless you have not sold the deal yet. In the beginning, when you haven't sold the deal, you have a website up, you have leads coming in, you have to take some of these leads and send them to the business owners as part of our process, part of our results in advance process of letting people test your, test your product, test your service before you even talk about business. And if that's not making sense, guys, go watch some more of our content. We have a very specific process. On this channel, and my whole philosophy, my whole MO is you always want to sell the deal first. You want to pre-sell it, use the credit card that they give you to then, and the money that they give you to then build out the asset that you own. But I want to explain how to answer the phone because a lot of people are confused. So how do they answer it? How should they answer it? How am I going to know if it's my tree service website in Chicago or it's my concrete site in Los Angeles? Those are both terrible cities. I'm just giving you some examples that came to my mind. So here's some tips and here's what I do. Now, first and foremost, I want you guys to know, you do not need to answer every single lead live. When you're in the process of selling a business owner, a lot of times people get this assumption that I got to answer every call live and I've got a job that's a 9 to 5 and I can't just leave my job and pick up the phone. My boss is going to start getting suspicious. Guys, relax. You don't need to answer these live. If you are somebody that's like me, if I get a phone call, I am distracted for, it takes me 15, 20 minutes to get back on task. So what I do is during the day, even though I don't have a 9 to 5, I put my phone on silent. You're not getting a hold of me. And if you're a lead, you're definitely not getting a hold of me. And in the phone, I'm not going to answer it. I'm not going to see it. What I do and what I did when we were in 2020, when we were really ramping things up, when we were going from barely scraping by to making the crazy money, doing 7 figures, is I would go and I would do this in batches. So I would let all the leads, and guys, keep in mind, we were doing this at a semi-big scale. We had 5, 6 projects going. We had calls coming in every hour, sometimes every 10 minutes. So what I would do is at least once a day, sometimes twice a day, I would cut out maybe a 30-minute to 45-minute window. And during that 30 to 45-minute window, I would call the leads and I would then pass them. I would then live transfer those leads, just bang, 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 bang. And there's a very specific way to do this, and I'm going to explain this. Now, if you are somebody that can answer the phone, then you're going to apply these exact same principles, but just remember, they're going to be calling you. It's going to seem a bit more natural because you're going to be answering and they're not going to know that you're calling from, some random phone number. But I'm going to go over how to call your leads back if you miss the call. And this can apply for when the leads come in. Okay. So what I do is, let's just say that I have a lead in Chicago tree service. Okay. The lead came in at 8 a.m. It's 12 p.m. It's my time to call this lead, and I'm going to send it over to Frank. He's the guy that I hooked. He's the guy I'm going to send a couple leads to. So I'm going to call the lead, and a lot of times with some of these tracking softwares, CallRail, etc., they're going to give you data, and sometimes you're even going to see the name of the person that's registered. Now, I never use the name if it's a phone call because a lot of times I've done this before, and sometimes it's like the ex-wife or it's the previous person at the phone, and you can just really creep them out. So I don't use that name. The only time I'm using their name is if they've submitted a form submission and voluntarily put their name, phone number, email, then I'll use the name. But if it's just a phone call and I technically don't, there's no way that I would know their name. I don't want to use it. I don't want to explain it. But I'll know that it might be Tracy, for example. So I'm going to call the customer. So let's say Tracy. She called at 8. I'm sending it to Frank. Now, a couple things you have to remember. I'm going to be calling from my area code. Let's say I'm from Las Vegas. I'm going to have a 702 area code, and she's in Chicago. There's already going to be red flags. So what I do is this. I call Tracy. Ring, 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 ring. Now, a lot of times they don't answer on the first ring because they think it's a telemarketer. So what do? Is I hang it up, I don't leave a voicemail, and I call right back. Because how many times do telemarketers just call back to back? It's pretty rare. Now, I think I've had that happen before, but it's pretty rare. So I'll call twice in a row. As soon as Tracy answers, I'm immediately going to beat her to the punch and say, hey, this is Nick with what we're doing, Chicago. This is Nick with Chicago Tree Service. Sorry for the weird area code. I didn't want you to think I was spam. This is my cell phone I'm calling you from. but I saw that you submitted, or I saw that you called our website. I'm just calling to see if we can get you an estimate. Boom, right into it, right? If I don't say that, even if they don't bring it up, you know what they're thinking? Why has he got a Las Vegas area code? And we're in Chicago. A little suspicious, right? But if I bring it up and I say, hey, Tracy, sorry for the weird area code. I'm calling from my cell phone today. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, that's believable. That makes sense. And that's what you're doing, right? Boom. Now, that's it. And what I'm doing during that call is I'm just assuming that they want an estimate. Why would you call my website if you didn't want an estimate, right? And so I'm just going to say, okay, yeah, so let me grab a little bit of information from you. And then I'm actually going to try and get you connected right now with Frank, who's actually the owner. I just answered the calls. And I'm going to see if we can just get you on the schedule so we don't have to bug you. Is that cool? Okay, great. What's your full name? And she's like, Tracy. I'm like, yeah, I already knew that. I don't say that, but I'm like, okay, cool. It is Tracy. Tracy Knight. Awesome, Tracy. And what's the property address? Boom, got the property address. Okay, what's a good email to send a quote to? Boom. I want to get as much data as I can for my business owner. Awesome. Now, real quick, are you looking for a tree removal, tree trim, stump grind? What are you looking for? Okay, awesome. Okay, great, Tracy. So here's what we're going to do. Give me about 30 seconds. I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to call Frank, and I'm going to bring him in on the three-way call, and I'm going to connect you guys so he can just get you on the schedule. Now, if he doesn't answer, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you into a three-way text, and he's just going to call you as soon as he has a chance because he might be on a job right now. But let me just try it really quick. Don't hang up on me. I'm going to be right back. Boom. Then I use my phone, and I push add call. I call him. Boom. Frank answers. I'm like, hey, Frank, remember me? I'm Nick. I'm the one that was going to send you some leads. Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I got a live lead on the phone right now from Tracy. She's on this street. I'm sure you cover it. Are we good to go? By the way, Frank, I just kind of told her I work for you. Make it easy. So just play along. Boom. So now Frank's on the line. Tracy's on the line. I push merge and I hop on and I'm like, hey, Tracy, you there? Awesome. Tracy, I got Frank on the line here. He's the business owner. He's going to get you scheduled for an estimate. Go ahead, guys. Boom. I'm out. And I'm going to put it on mute. I'm going to listen to how the business owner acts. I'm going to listen to how the business owner responds to customer. I'm going to listen to how aggressive they are or how polite they are, how professional they are. And this is going to give me so much intel on if this is even a good business owner to work with. Because a lot of times you're going to listen to these business owners. They're going to suck on the phone. They don't have good people skills. And you're going to go, dude, this guy's not going to close deals. I could send this guy 100 leads. He's not going to close any deals because he just doesn't have people skills. So you're going to learn a lot. And I'll listen to that call. Boom. And I'm done. That's it. That's the whole process. Now, if you're someone that's answering the phone, it comes in live and you have time or it's during that hour, you do the same thing. And you go, hey, this is Nick with Chicago Tree Service. They don't know you're answering from your cell phone. Now, some of you guys are going, how would you know it's Chicago Tree Service? It's called a tracking number. And on your settings inside of CallRail or whatever service you're using, you can indicate that a little whisper will come into your ear that will tell you new lead from Chicago Tree Service. So you know to answer as Nick from Chicago Tree Service, not Nick from Los Angeles gutter cleaning, whatever, right? That's it, guys. You answer the phone, you act like the receptionist, you patch them in. Or you take windows during the day, 30-minute windows, 45-minute windows, 2-3 times a day, 1 time a day, and you call the lead. Now, if you call twice, boom, boom, don't answer. Then what I'll do is I'll leave a message. Hey, Tracy, this is Nick with Chicago Tree Service. Again, sorry, I'm calling you from my cell phone. Sorry for the weird number. Hopefully you didn't think it was spam. We saw that you called on the website, just calling to get you an estimate. Give me a call when you can. By the way, call me on my cell phone. It's going to be the easiest, blah, 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 blah. There's my number. And hang up. Boom. And then I'll send that exact same thing in a text. That's what I do. That's how I follow up with leads. Now, obviously, this is a bit of work, and you can see if you get 3, 4, 5 campaigns going, it's a lot. So naturally, as we started to scale, we hired somebody to do this role, and on we went. But in the beginning, guys, I transferred every single lead doing this exact same thing. And some of you guys are going, why would I transfer lead? This is a lot of work. I'm just going to send them in. Go watch some of my other videos. That is so key to this process that you actually do a live transfer. This is how I do it. This is somebody that's done this, build a 7-figure business doing this, not just selling how to do it. This, my friends, is how I answer and how I call back all of my leads.